I guess we'll start. Thoughts on your new-ish, old former player returning to the club?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good addition for us. He's a veteran guy. He knows how we play, knows the room, knows the expectations, comfortable here in pretty much every aspect, I would think. He's been to 2 cups, won one. That was the nice part of Brandon Saad's addition as well. He's been there. That's our goal. So you get a couple of veteran guys that come in. We've been working some younger guys, trying to give them more responsibility this year, but playoff time, there's a lot of value in the guys that have been there and done it. So I'm glad. It's a good ad. We did, when Reilly left here, it was just a matter of, that's probably a question for upstairs, or a comment for upstairs, but I'll say it like it was, there wasn't room for everybody, and we chose Barbie at the time, and 2 good players, and it was a little bit of business. So happy to have him back, and looking forward to getting him back out there. Now, I know the next question will be, when is that? I don't know if he'll be available tomorrow. I really don't. I guess if he traveled today, got here, that would be his call, but I don't have an answer to that yet. But he is healthy, and when he does get here, he should be ready to go in.
This is an interesting situation because usually when you bring in a player who's not used to the system, probably takes it a little bit. How much does that help, knowing that he is familiar with?
Well, I think it helps a lot. Sometimes guys come in, they takes a while to get acclimated. They defer a lot because they're not, they come into a locker room that's had success, so they don't want to. They want to fit in. It's just human nature. So Reilly knows pretty much everybody in the room. There's been some turnover, obviously, the last 2 years, but for the most part, he knows the players. A lot of familiarity, so it should be a lot more seamless for him just to go in. And I may get the question now too: where's he going to play? Well, again, that will be determined when he goes in, who he plays with. He has a lot of familiarity with William Karlsson. William Karlsson skated today again. I can't tell you the exact date he's coming back into the lineup, but when they're both healthy, it would make sense to at least revisit that, see what it looks like. But that's not going to happen right away.
You mentioned that depth scoring is kind of on your wish list. He obviously scored a lot of goals here. It hasn't been as good offensively for him since he left. Do you expect him to maybe not get back to that, but to reinvigorate that offensive part of his game?
Yeah, he's got it in him. Again, he's been gone for a year and a half, so why is it not the same as here? I can't answer that. I know what it was here. He complimented those guys well. A cerebral player, played in all situations. He played on, I think if I'm looking back, our second, we might have been more balanced then. So a power play unit. He was on the kill with Carly a lot. So he's a guy that can play on both sides of the puck, and our reports, he still has offensive ability. So we'll try to put him in a position to use that to the best of his ability. But for us, it's just balancing out our lines even more now, right? So it's timely goals as much as the quantity too, right? When you get them, and that becomes real important this time of year in playoff time. So I think that's more important than the actual number.
Bruce, you talked coming into the season about you wanted your power play to be improved, and it has. Is this kind of what you envisioned, that it would be, if not every night, a lot of nights, a difference maker?
Well, we figured it would be better. I think we went through that enough without, the sticks lined up. The pucks are going through the people that are probably our best playmakers to guys that are shooters, right? So we've had 2 different guys up top with Theo getting hurt that have very similar attributes. So there's really, you don't miss a beat on that with chemistry. We wanted to be much more interior. Since I've been here, we've tried to build that in, and Hertl's just a really, really good bumper player that wants to get there and shoot the puck and establish position. So we got an elbow guy that loves to shoot it, and Olesen or Dorofeev. We've used both. So I just thought it just kind of the strengths matched up a lot with Jack and Stoney's ability to make those plays as right-hand sticks to one-timers. So that's what we thought would happen. It has. I wouldn't have said, we're going to be top 5, number 1, top 10. I just knew we'd be better, and we have been better, and hopefully it continues to grow, and we keep making adjustments from game to game that we have to make and are comfortable making when teams take certain things away. And that's was going to be the next part of the process to keep you at that level, and I think our guys have done a good job with that.
How have you noticed Noah Hanifin elevate his game, especially since Shea's been out?
A lot of offensive touches. I think as a guy that's played the power play a lot, and when his offensive game is on, it drives his whole game. So with Theo being out and he gets those extra touches, a little more responsibility, I think it increases his ability to play the better 200-foot game because he's not searching for those touches that aren't there on 5-on-5. He's not getting in a power play. So he's not chasing it more. It's just letting the game come to him. And as a result, he's, better positioned in every situation. So that's that glass half full with Theo going out. We won't, we're a better team with both of them in the lineup playing to their strengths, but that's how it's helped Noah. Now he's got a partner in Whitey, so maybe there's a little more chemistry there. Just sometimes a change of pace with a partner for a little bit. I don't know that part of it, but the Theo being out definitely gives him, when he comes to the rink every day, knows that his skill set's going to be needed a little bit more, and he's been able to step up and give it to us.
For a while, you were getting questions about sluggish starts. How do you explain, and have you done anything different with 2 of the last 3 having great first periods?
No, I thought the first period the other day they had chances as well. But we finished well, and we had higher end ones. I'll say this about their chances. I thought they were one and done, Darren, so at least we were taking business after the original shot. We were able to clear out the rebound or not allow sustained pressure. Sometimes you just finish a little bit better, and you'll have a streak like that. Let's see how it goes for the next little while. The Chicago game was obviously an exception when you get 5, but now you get 3. Guys coming to the rink a little more refreshed maybe after the Four Nations break. Could be as simple as that those dog days of January-ish, early February, you're not on your toes as early, and because of that, and you react as the game goes along instead of initiating. And I think there's a little bit of that goes into it. I think the break did us some good. We got a veteran group for the most part, so they're a little more on the toes. I think they recognize the importance of this time of year. It's now you're getting into the home stretch. Get your game in order, and I think starts have a lot to do with that. Just being a little more focused.
Hey, Bruce. Obviously, Brendan Brisson hasn't had the season he was hoping for. Now he's headed to New York. What are your thoughts on the team losing their former first-round pick?
Well, you got to give something up to get something. That's the way I look at it. And I think in my experience here, the front office always been driven to try to improve the team now, especially if they feel they have a chance. So we'll miss Brendan. He was a good player for us. Probably run into sometimes when you're a prospect on a good team, you don't have as much opportunity because there's good players in front of you. Hopefully he gets that chance in New York. He was a great kid. He worked hard, everything we asked him to do, especially at the start of the year. We had him in. He was in my office a lot with video trying to work on things, and he was always receptive. So hopefully that opportunity comes for him in New York. We'll see how that plays out. It can be a tough racket sometimes for a young guy, but once you figure some things out, push your way through the door, you can get going, and maybe that'll happen for him there. I wish him all the best.
Bruce, tomorrow when the dust settles at the trade deadline, will you expect play to ramp up even more because now you've got your team from now to whenever
our team or the league or
both?
I think our team has started it already coming out of the break. I think our record indicates that. I think our games we've played are good. We're not lucking out here to win games. The game we lost, we had a bad third period in LA, right? We acknowledge that, so let's learn from it. Other than that, I think we've played well coming out of the Four Nations break. So for us, hopefully that continues, trade deadline or not. I think it gets interesting with the other teams, depending on what side of it you're on. If you're selling, then you tend to lose a bit of your motivation. If you're a team that's going for it, now you're digging in a little more. So that's usually what happens, and I anticipate that won't change after the deadline this year. Seems to be less activity right now than other years. I don't know if that's true or not, if anybody has the numbers on and there's still a day and a half left, but at the end of the day, we're motivated to play. We've added a couple, like I said, veteran guys that have been there and won. I think that'll give us our room even more juice.
Do you think Carlson is progressing enough to possibly join before the trip?
He won't play tomorrow, so we got Sunday, then we head out. I don't have the answer to that. I know he's getting better. I'll say that, but whether he's ready for Sunday, next Tuesday, next weekend, I don't know that yet. Lavoie's upper body, he will not play tomorrow, so we'll put him as day-to-day for now. Let's see where that goes.
And Schwint.
Schwinn might be a game time tomorrow. That's something we've discussed. He's closer, so we'll see tomorrow how the effects of today's practice were on him, and he's a possibility. Medical team will give us an update in the morning.